Sometimes I wonder why it is that we choose spiritual practices and growth work that requires we sit down so darn much. If a person is doing all of their growth work and all of their witch practice, all of their spiritual practice through tarot, through writing and journaling, we are in this stagnant energetic state, sort of just writing and being in one position, right? To create, to move energy, to process, to cast spells, to receive information. And I think that all of that stagnant energy does not serve us. And that's why I'm really excited to talk to you today about somatic witchery. We know that you were born magical. We know that you are intuitive, and we know that you are brimming with everyday enchantment. Here at the Sisters Enchanted, we believe in intention, we believe in intuition, and we believe in everyday magic. Welcome in to the Expedition to Soul podcast. If you are in our membership community and you're listening to this, if you're in an enchanted journey, it's our membership community, then y'all have been blessed with somatic witchery every month for the last few months from our friend Dina. And you kind of know what I'm talking about. For those of you who've never heard this topic before, this might be new to you. But let's talk about this. What is this? This word somatic, it means of the body, of the body. So we are talking about witchcraft practices of the body. Now, no matter what your level of ability is to move, I want you to consider the idea of moving your body in some way as part of your manifesting practice, your spiritual practice, your witchery practice. Now, I'm just going to drink a sip of coffee here before I start coughing all over the place. But think about when you want to, I don't know, clean something, right? You can't just think about cleaning. You have to actually move stuff around. You have to actually shift an item from one place to another. When we are doing all of this witchcraft work, maybe we're doing a ritual, or we are discovering something about ourselves through tarot, or we're journaling, or we're connecting to the energy of our crystals. If we are not somehow moving that energy through our body, out of our body, into throughout our body, it's really just like stagnant. We are just stagnant. And it is wild to me how many people will do the work of journaling and doing like this whole tarot spread, but then don't want to do anything to get their body involved in this process. Now, why is this so important? Firstly, and then we're going to talk more about what it looks like, what somatic witchcraft can look like, depending on your ability, your desire to move. I'm not saying you need to go do a bunch of burpees or anything like that. You can sit in a chair and still move your body. But let's talk about what the body has to do with it. So our bodies, we tend to carry a lot of shame in them. If you were a person who was raised, socialized as a girl, and then a teenage girl, and then a woman, you are carrying probably a lot of stories around your body, what it should look like, how you should be in your body, how much space your body should take up, how your body should serve other people to look at your body and think it looks a certain way. There is a lot of stuff around our bodies. We hide them. We avoid our bodies. We punish our bodies through not eating what we help, not eating enough calories, through working out so hard to try to be a certain way, right? And this isn't about health. This is about our mindset around the body. So we're going to talk about that here too and dive into this a little bit more. But really, whenever we are, looking in the mirror and thinking, oh, if only I just didn't look this way, or if only there was this thing about my body that was different, right? And when we don't look at our bodies, when we don't touch our own bodies, when we don't want to have sensation on our body, then we are really disconnecting from ourselves and disconnecting from our intuition. Your intuition is a full body thing. You've got to be able to feel in your body like a hell yes or a hell no. And those sensations are coming from within your body. When you put your hands on the earth and it feels cool in the dirt on a hot summer day, you're experiencing that sensation through your body. When you get like chills and a tingling sensation because something's just so wild, you can't even believe that this just happened, or when something takes your breath away, right? We feel these sensations within our body, and disconnecting from your body, feeling like your body is the worst thing that ever happened. This is all disconnecting from your intuition. It's removing you from your intuition. So, the work that you might be doing to tap into your spiritual gifts and hear your guides and be able to have mediumship experiences or read past lives or do this beautiful ritual to connect to a festival or a new moon or a full moon, when we're constantly disconnecting from our bodies and shaming our bodies and not loving our bodies and not being in our bodies fully present and grounded, that energy has nowhere to go. And it's just like waffling about looking for a home, right? And our intuition, because it's a full bodied experience, your intuition, if you're not familiar with the sensations within your body and how you feel when you feel really relaxed and how you feel when you feel really like anxious and high strung, if you aren't familiar with those feelings, then it can be very challenging for you to understand your intuition and what your body needs. An example of this in my life for me, I am uh so I still have my monthly cycle, and I it's definitely like changing, and it's actually mine is more frequent and longer and like more intense, it seems. But for years and years and years, I had like gastro problems. I had, trouble in the bathroom area of my life, right? Not to make this a podcast about that. But the thing that about being disconnected from your body here is that for all these years, I was thinking it was like one issue, when really the more that I've listened to my body and the more that I have become grounded in my body, paid attention to my body, looked at my body, put my hands on my stomach and like felt my belly, felt my heart rate, felt my arms and my legs, and like know my body, the more I've sunk into it, now I can feel these feelings that my body is having. And I realized it was something else entirely that was happening within my uterus. And it wasn't what I thought it was for like 15 years of my life. It was something entirely different. Now, what does this have to do with intuition and spiritual gifts and witchcraft? What does this have to do with any of that? Well, when we are constantly fighting a battle that is trying to get our body to be a certain way, when we're not in tune with our body to begin with, that is energy we're putting somewhere that we don't need to be putting there. And we are misreading the cues from our body. So I was misreading the cues from my body for years, like literally probably 15 years. I was misreading the cues from my body. And one of the things that we can do in our spiritual practices is look to our bodies for where we might be having energetic stuck spots. So I'm so focused on this, like, bathroom stomach issue, or not, like lower intestine issue, I guess, that I'm thinking maybe I need like these energetic stuck spots or something completely different than what it actually was, right? Which for me was very uterus centered, still is. And I'm able to shift my energy there. And in doing that, I'm able to help my body to be calm, to relax, to soothe my body, to understand what my body needs, which is completely different than what I thought I needed for all of those years. And making those shifts and knowing my body helps me to be more connected to my intuition, because I know better what my body needs and how to treat my body. I know when it needs to rest in certain ways. I know when maybe it just needs to move, because I can feel it. And when I'm in alignment with my body, my intuition is even more heightened because I'm not in so much resistance with my own self. And when I know my body and I trust my body and my body is getting what it needs, my body feels more grounded. It feels safer. It feels taken care of. And when your body feels safe and taken care of, and like it's getting the resources that it needs, it's getting the healing, the love that it needs, right? This is when we can create more in our lives. This is when we can increase, expand, ascend our energy. It's when we can perform rituals and cast spells or have prayers that work for us. Our body has to be bought into the experience just as much as you are. And this is where it brings us back to somatic witchery. When we're doing all of this work, opening up to what we truly need to know about ourselves, our body can hold a lot of these answers. And moving your body can help you to release stuck energy, to let these thoughts come pouring into you and actually connect you to your intuition, your higher self, or your guides, or spirit, or source, or whatever it is you want to connect to, because you're opening up your energy and you're getting out of this stuckness that can be within your body. So for me, somatic witchery looks a lot like just moving my body. So I do like to move my body. I'm an able bodied person and I love to do Pilates. I love to hike. I love to do, for me, doing things that allows me to like lift and do like force, like move energy. So yard work that requires like raking or using I there's this inside joke we have about how I do rage lopping on my yard. So those big, we call them loppers, like the big cutters that you cut like small branches off trees and bushes with, right? Like rage lopping my yard, lip moving wood, like doing this kind of heavy manual sort of work really gets my body clear, it gets the energy moving, gets me out of my ego, out of my head. Again, Pilates I love because it's stretching, but also doing kind of that like muscle tent, like force sort of work. And I love to hike. I love to hike uphill, up like do rock scrambling, really using my body feels really, really good to me. And it helps me to integrate new stories, release old stories, and clear my energy, clear my head to hear these messages from source or my higher self or whatever is being channeled into me. Some of these really cool things that I have created have come after I've done all of this like heavy body work and then gone to sleep and woke up the next day clear as day with the next step forward. Where if I'm just sitting down journaling, I don't get out of my head as easily. I get things out of my head, but I'm not making space to receive. So, some other ways we can do somatic witchery are with belly dance and EFT tapping, emotional freedom technique. Anything that's like physical, just even just rubbing your arms. That's called havening, where you just rub your arms sort of up and down, like really gently, and just get like calm in your body. Of course, I think that too, another form of somatic witchery can be through intimacy and having those experiences with a partner or with yourself and being in your body again to feel the way you want to feel. So if you want to feel more pleasure in your life, your body can do that. If you want to make space in your head, use your body to make space in your head. If you want to get clear on what your body is telling you and you're running from place to place and obligation to obligation and not tuning into your body, or if you have like a stuck energetic point in your body or some symptom within your body that you just can't seem to clear up. And now, of course, go see your doctors. Like I love medicine too. Don't get me wrong. I saw doctors for all of my problems, but when they really could not help me and I saw so many different doctors, it was then that I had to really tune into my body and say, what is going on here? And it realized that I was completely misreading what my body was telling me for years and years and years. And getting into my body helped me to feel more connected to myself, less frustrated in the day to day because I understood what my body was telling me and I didn't feel like my body was so against me. And my body is still doing things that I don't super love, but now I can better understand where the the feelings are coming from, where the tenseness, when I'm having these aches and pains, like instead of just being frustrated and trying to fight this never ending battle, I realize it's time for me to slow down. It's time for me to get some warmth. And I dig out my heating pad and my weighted blanket and I make a snuggle zone. Whereas before I took a completely different path trying to solve a problem that wasn't the actual problem. And it was only through getting in touch with my body and really feeling where is this sensation coming from that I was able to understand it. And in doing this, though, we rest in our bodies. Our bodies feel safer. They feel more calm. Like we can trust ourselves and be more intentional with our thoughts, our feelings, and what we're doing. And intention breeds intuition. So if you're a person who's looking to expand your intuition, who's looking to expand your spiritual gifts, who's looking to receive more messages, a person who's looking, if you are looking to work with and heal other people and you are not doing somatic practices, moving your body and really regulating your energy from the inside out, the burnout from a healing and helping and holding space from others will pile on eventually. And somatic practices are the way through that in whatever way they work for you. There are, just even laying on your bed and just like doing kind of like the snowman, or what is it? Not snowman, the snow angel thing on the ground, but doing it on your bed. If you're a person who just does not have the energy to really do a lot, that sensation of just rubbing your arms on some like nice bamboo sheets or something, just that's like a somatic practice to help you get into your body and move some of that energy out. So all different levels of ability and desire to move your body can benefit and will benefit from somatic practices. But your intuition really is a full body thing. And when we're up in our ego and assuming things about our body or ignoring our body or talking negative and thinking negative thoughts about the body day in, day out, constantly, we can't truly ground into ourselves and anchor into the present and connect to our highest frequency energy if we're dismissive of our bodies 100% of the time and completely disconnecting from them. It really is. I mean, you are a full person. Your humanness, the vessel that carries your soul, all of it is part of who you are. And when we are separating that from these practices in creation, in connection, it is just not, it's just not going to work. Like we got to bring our body into it. Another thing around somatic witchery is moving to connect to your natural environment and then bringing your spiritual practice on the road. So hiking and making a nature altar or mandala on your hike, going for a walk and just stopping and like talking to the plants that you walk by or saying, hey, look at you, little sidewalk herb that's growing through the cracks. How strong are you? And then integrating the energy of that plant into your system. So we can use these witchery practices during our everyday movement as well and continue to just integrate all these different things that we're doing, right? Through somatic practices, through moving, through body, through awareness, through intention. So somatic witchery, using your body in your witchcraft practice, dancing, moving the energy, clearing the energy, integrating the energy, feeling into your body. How does your body feel when you think certain thoughts? Like if you think about a future where you feel completely at peace, what does your body do? Does it tense up or does it like relax? Do you get like a little, I don't know. Does your breathing become labored? What happens? But if you notice your body regularly, then it's difficult to understand the sensations of your body these times when you're trying to tune into it. So when people say tune into your body, if you don't know like your regular body feeling, then it's challenging to understand what your body's telling you when someone's telling you to tune into your body. For me, for sure, another thing that through more somatic practices as part of my spiritual practice, moving my body is very much part of my spiritual practice. And moving through doing that, I can also tell when my anxiety is rising in my body. I can tell my anxiety is rising before I'm even anxious now because I can feel like the warmth moving up from my lower body. It like moves up from my root energy up into my chest. And then I feel like things just get hotter and tighter. And as soon as I start to feel those feelings now, where before I'd kind of try to just ignore them or like get up and do something, distract myself, like start scrolling on my phone or reading a book or just like whatever. But now I think like, okay, I have to move my body because there is an energy welling within me that's going to disconnect me from my truest self because it feels so overwhelming. And it's going to be a bridge for me making decisions that are out of alignment with the future that I desire because I'm going to make decisions to try to feel better right now instead of that are in alignment with my future self. So when I feel that rising, because I'm in tune with my body now, I know it's time to do some walking or just do some quick, like, put on some music and dance, go walk around my backyard, go for a walk. I do this heart opening where you just put your arms out to what, like kind of to your sides, and you just move them in and out, like you're pumping your heart energy out using your arms to do it. I'll just do some of that real quick. Do a couple jumping jacks, like whatever it is, stretch, touch my toes, and just get back in my body again and remind my body that it can let go of the energy. I don't need to hold it within me. So somatic witchery, when you use your body as part of your witchery practice. And again, if you're in our membership, then you have access to these sessions every month where Dina is doing tapping. She's done belly dance. You also have in your vault and archives some Kundalini yoga exercises, more belly dance, all sorts of stuff in there. So get in, check those out. And if you're not in the membership, consider joining us. We've got a special enrollment coming up. And find just whatever your practice is, though. Go for a walk, right? Go for a walk. Like I said, lie out on your bed, do some of that snow angel move. Any of that is going to work. But consider how you're incorporating your body into your spiritual practice and where you're disconnecting from your body and shaming your body and blaming your body and punishing your body and not loving on it so that it can be the vessel for all the creative energy you're putting out into the world. All right, go move it. Go walk around. Thank you all for hanging out with me today. And until next time, I hope that you have an enchanted rest of your day ahead. If you liked this episode of the Expedition to Soul podcast, please rate, review, subscribe. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, it will really help us spread everyday magic, intention, and intuition to the masses and helps us so much as a small business. Be sure to hit that subscribe button on your favorite podcasting platform so you never miss an episode. There are new episodes every Tuesday. And as always, thank you so much for listening and being part of the community here at the Sisters Enchanted. And we'll see you in the next episode.